It's all about you. It's all about you, baby.
This interview is with the delightful Brenda Jallum. Brenda works or volunteers should I say, upon the Sunrise Ward at Wycombe District Hospital. And it's a deeply intense space, the Sunrise Ward, where people are having treatment for cancer, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, blood transfusions. There's all sorts of things going up there. And it's quite a happy space generally. And Brenda has her own story to tell, which I found out one day and thought I would love to share with you. And so let's hand over to Brenda. So, welcome Brenda.
Hello.
So I'm here today with Brenda, as we've already discussed, and the reason I wanted to chat to Brenda is with your volunteer work that you do upon the very patronisingly named Sunrise Ward, because there's nothing sunrise about it really. But actually, Brenda, you're the sunrise that walks around that ward, so maybe it was named after you. So I'm just wondering why initially you chose to volunteer up there.
So I'd like to say hello. Hi, Deborah. Basically, I got diagnosed with breast cancer in 2004. I got treated here at Wycombe, but it was on the 7th floor instead of the 5th floor. And after myself got diagnosed, my sister, she got diagnosed with breast cancer, and then she had secondary breast cancer, which she passed away.
Oh, wow.
And my brother, who had a brain tumour, and he passed away. I got made redundant in 2016, and I was just at a loss. And I thought, what can I do? And then I just thought, I'll come and give something back to the community who helped me and my family during our journey through cancer. So I went on to Ward 5 and asked, can I volunteer? And they were absolutely delighted.
I'm sure they were.
Absolutely delighted.
Yeah.
So I went through the process, and I've been working there since May 2017.
Oh, blimey, so quite a
yes,
while then.
Yes,
Yeah.
And I love it.
Oh, well, it shows you do. So the reason I know you is obviously through being up on that ward myself, having chemo and immunotherapy and all that kind of thing. And Brenda comes round with a cheery smile and a sandwich
Yes.
to offer a bit of light relief to us all. But it's a funny place to be because you can't always have a full-on conversation with
That's
people.
correct, yes. You have to sort of like look at each patient and see if they're in the mood for talking or whether you just have to leave them alone.
Yeah.
So when I go around first thing in the morning and I offer tea and coffee, and depending on what mannerism there is, I get back from that patient, then I know I can have a joke and have a conversation with that patient or just leave them alone, and that's it.
And that's, do you think you've got that intuition through having been through treatment yourself, or do you think it's quite plain for people to read?
I think that it's definitely the intuition from being through cancer myself, because everybody is absolutely different, and some just can't handle the case that they have cancer, while some people just, okay, I've got it, it's mine, I'll deal with it, and that was the way I handled it when I had my cancer. I've got it, I'll deal with it.
Likewise.
And so I think from having my own cancer, I can kind of like relate to other people and see how they're feeling, and we can chat.
And I think what you get on that ward as well is, I learned the same as you actually when I was up there the very first time. I was sat there with my very first chemo session, and there's a lady sat next to me, and I got chatting to her, and what she told me about her journey freaked me out so much. I was so upset for her. I decided that I wouldn't discuss anything with anybody ever again.
Right.
Because at the time, I couldn't handle what she was saying to me.
Yes, yeah.
And it was heartbreaking, and you can do nothing for people.
Exactly, yes. And there's a few ladies I've spoken to, and some of them have been terminal, and it's just been right. I've got it. Everybody else is. I've told them, and I can handle it, and they need to handle it, and I'm just going to do it until
Do it
I
their
can't go
way.
anymore.
That's right.
And you know, and then there's another lady who was terminal, and her daughter was absolutely devastated, would not believe that she was terminal. She wanted every medicine, everything that they could find to treat her mum, but it was like, it's not going to happen.
No.
You know, and I said to the mum, you need to speak to your daughter again to make her understand. And it's not that the daughter was young, she's, you know, in her 20s. You had a good understanding, so accept it.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's hard, and everybody's got their own way of dealing with it.
Exactly,
as you said,
exactly.
And I think that's something you come to learn really quickly.
Yes,
isn't it?
exactly, yeah. So.
And so do you get any training at all, or are you just straight in?
No, it was just straight in, just showed you where this is and that is and that is, and it just walked around, you know, got introduced to patients and stuff, and just be me.
Yeah, which is good enough,
yeah.
quite frankly. I mean, I'd been up there a long time before I actually got into a big conversation with you.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Because I think for me, even though I'm accepting of what's happening, I'm just getting on with it, I do tend to close down and keep my own counsel.
Yeah.
I think because of what I learned actually that very first conversation I had, I just learned to keep my mouth shut.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And the other thing is, I just end up on that ward, every single time I'm up there, I end up crying.
Really?
Every single time, yeah. There was a little old lady sat next to me once who had, she was having a transfusion, and when they put the needle in, she went, ooh, like this, and started crying. So I set off crying.
Oh dear.
She stopped, and I carried on for the whole day. So I'm...
You're a very emotional person.
I'm kind of empathetic, I think, of people, and I think it's tough up there.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And so how do you find that aspect, you know, having...
I don't really know, because I don't know what's in me that I can deal with what's going around, because I've seen people being sick. I've seen people just, you know, come up for the first time and they've had to have their injection and they're just, you know, want to faint or they're crying, and, you know, and I pull the curtain around and I said, it's okay, do you want a cup of tea, do you want a biscuit, you know, whatever, to help them out. So I don't know what it is that's in me to make me to be able to deal with all of this, you know. And there's, you know, people that I've known for months coming for treatment, and you hear that they've passed away, and it's just like, oh, such a nice person, this and that. But you know, I don't know what it is. I am just able to handle everything.
And I can see that in you. But I mean, up on that ward, it's not an easy place to be.
It's not at all.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
No.
It's not even for the faint-hearted when you're having the treatment.
Exactly.
Right?
That's right. Yes.
So to go up there as a volunteer.
That's right.
Is something else.
Yeah.
And you're up there 3 times a week.
3 times a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
So do you find ever that you bring any of that home with you? Do you find it hard to shake some of it
No.
off sometimes?
If it's usually if it's a good day and it's a funny day, I take it home and I said, oh, today was hilarious.
Okay, so you take the good bits.
Yes, and
nice.
then and because obviously at home they don't know who the patients are, so I can't say this patient passed away.
Yeah, so it means nothing
so it
to
means
anybody
no.
else, yeah.
So I can't say that to them, but.
I think that some of the Macmillan nurses up there, you build quite strong relationships with, and they do a terrific job also,
Absolutely,
don't they?
absolutely.
Which you will have experienced firsthand
Yes,
yourself
yes,
too.
yeah.
I always say that they're like angels that walk amongst us, really.
That's right, yes, yeah. And you have to thank them, you have to praise them and everything. And I am really, anything to do with Macmillan Nurses, anything to do with cancer, I just think I need to be in there and deal with it.
It changes you, doesn't it?
It does.
It alters you.
does.
I am not the same person I was before.
No.
I don't even know who that person was anymore. I see pictures of myself with my long hair. I think, oh, look at you. Who were you?
Yeah, exactly. I scrolled through my Facebook pages the other day and I thought, oh, look at your hair, look at you then, you know, and it's like, how many years ago was that? And, you know, it's like, well, I like this.
Who you are
now. Yes.
I'm the same.
I like who I am now. So.
I find it's a bit of a woo-woo thing to say in a way, but I feel that for me, and I'm just being right out there, that I think cancer was a gift. It allowed me to discover who I am, and that's priceless, actually.
Exactly, and it also, for me, it was like, who cares? You know, because I've got friends, they say they're friends and associates and whatever, and obviously I've got on well, and it's a matter of who cares, who would come and visit, and then it's an eye-opener. I say, right, you definitely came, you looked after me, you helped my husband, my kids and everything like that. You were just a matter of, oh, she's unwell, let's see if she's really sick, and then that was it.
Yeah.
haven't seen you again.
And people don't know how to deal with it.
No,
do
they don't. No. Not at all.
And
not
I wonder,
at all.
it makes me wonder how I was years ago with that. You know,
Mm.
what kind of things have I said to people that might have been offensive without me wanting to be offensive?
Yes, yes.
Because until you're actually in it,
you don't know.
You can't know.
Exactly. I know one of my colleagues when I was still working, and I was having a conversation with her, and she was backing off, and it's like, I said, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, where have you gone?
And, you know, and it's like, oh, you've got cancer. I said, but it's not catching. I said, you cannot catch it from me. You know, come on, you know, in this day and age, why are you behaving like this?
Run away.
Yeah.
They just run away.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, if you're close to them as well.
Exactly.
It's devastating.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But other people come in your life as well, I've noticed.
That's right. That is right, yes.
And actually, in view of the new you that you're taking forward, because you are a different person.
Yes.
What a friend of mine said at the very beginning, that I would end up with the people that mattered to me as my new self.
Yes.
And I thought, oh gosh, it's one of those times, is it? And it's so true.
It is so true.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it is, and you live, and you know, things happen, and you think to yourself, well, am I really bothered about that?
You don't, because you just make a decision. It's really quick.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was given a pair of clarity goggles, because you can see
everything. Yeah,
can't you?
yeah. It's not tunnel vision anymore. It's a
is.
wider
and you
thing.
just think, this is it. If you don't like it, you know,
off you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, off you go.
Because you don't seem to have the time.
Exactly. You've
mentally
been given this extra time of your life.
That's how you feel.
Yeah.
Don't you? Yeah.
So
I'm lucky.
Yes.
I feel that I'm very lucky.
Mm.
And there are some people going through a lot worse than me.
Exactly. You know, but it is, because I used to think to myself, three of my mum's children has some form of cancer.
Wow.
2 got taken away and 1 got left. And I sit here and I think to
Wow.
myself, why was I still left behind? Why, you know, why wasn't it, you know, my brother was still here because he hadn't got no children. They could, you know, my sister, you know, why was I still left here?
Yeah.
And there's nothing to answer, but I will live my life and be thankful because I am still here.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And we're glad you're still here, Brenda, serving us teas and coffees.
Yes, I enjoy it, absolutely. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Brenda, what do you feel that being up there on that ward, what does it give you, or how do you feel you affect other patients' lives?
For me personally, I think I enjoy it because I'm giving back what they did for me, and to relate to the patients. You know, there's sometimes the nurses saying, introducing them to PICC lines, and I said, oh, that's great. I said, it's great. And they said, why do you think it's great? I said, because you can have everything done in that one line. I said, instead of them trying to find your veins and stuff, I said, it's all in, I said, it's in that one vein, I said, and everything's done. I said, and you don't have to worry about anything else apart from keeping it clean and, you know, having the flush done. You know, and then it's like some patients lose their sense of taste.
That's right.
And I said, oh yes, we can remember that, you know, and what can they eat, and, you know, have they tried this? And
it's encouraging for them to chat to you, because your taste has come back.
Yes.
And you can tell them that.
Yes.
Because you do feel like you're entering into a world, an unknown world.
That's
when you
right.
taste and
That's
everything
right.
disappears.
Yeah. You know, and because the patients don't know that I've been there and done that.
Yeah.
So when I come out with, oh yes, I know how that feels. And they said, really? And I said, yes, I've been there. Oh, really? And then a conversation will start, and you know, they're amazing. It's like, well, thank you very much.
That's just really reassuring.
Yeah.
Because it's a frightening time, actually.
Absolutely.
I just remember being on chemo. You don't know what's coming from 5 minutes to the next.
Exactly.
You know, and to have somebody that can reassure you is priceless.
Yeah.
So that's a really great thing. And do you strike up friendships with the nurses and things like that? Do you get chance to get close to anybody up there?
Oh yes. They're very friendly nurses, and I think they love when I'm there.
Yeah, because you're an extra help.
Yeah, I'm an extra helper, yes, and everything like that. And, you know, and they have things, and they invite me out and things like that. So it's nice. It is nice. They're really, it's really friendly
they're
up
a lively lot.
Absolutely. Overly lively sometimes.
Don't they? Cause,
you need to be.
It's a harsh end of life.
Yes,
up there.
exactly.
There's no hiding from
Because
that.
if it was too quiet, and patients are just there having their treatment and no conversation, I think it'd be worse for them.
Yeah.
So to hear the nurses laughing and talking and things like
and
that,
bustling around.
and yes, I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing for them, and keep them, uplifted, to say that it's not so horrible. Come in there just for what you're going there for. Yeah. So yeah.
So we touched on this a little bit, how we've altered, both of us have altered, but my big passion is taking people from great, which is what you were before cancer, going through the traumatic experience, and I've got a big passion and belief that you can come out greater on the other side. Yes. Do you feel that way? And
absolutely.
How do you? Oh, I can see it in your face, Brenda. That's so lovely. How do you feel you manage that? What have you got anything to say around that?
I think once your mind has accepted what you have, and you're going to come out the other side. For me, that's all I needed. So I went through everything. People used to say to me, "Are you sure? Are you sure you're unwell? Why do you look so? Why are you smiling? Why are you this?" And I said, "Because I've got something to live for. I've got something to live for, and I'm coming out the other end." I said, "And as far as I'm concerned, that's it for me." So I did what I had to do. They did what they had to do. It was a struggle, as we know, but I came out on the other end, and I just see life.
Yeah, it's vibrant.
It's vibrant.
Yeah, I get that.
And that is it for me. I try to go on as much holidays as I can, because I don't know when anything's going to happen. So that's it. I have the only upsetting thing for me through my journey was my daughter was 14 at the time, and she ended up being schizophrenia. Schizophrenia. Ended up having schizophrenia because of all the stress and everything like that. So she's still my little worry.
It's hard, isn't it, for people around you?
Yes. Yeah. So she's still my worry at the moment, but she's living life at the moment. She's doing what she can do. So I can relax, do what I can. Yeah. And that's it.
And that's terrific.
Yeah. So I just think, I don't, I just go out and enjoy what I can enjoy.
Well, I think what's really nice for you and being as a volunteer, from my perspective with my little podcast here, is that you're helping people go through one of the most traumatic times of their life, no doubt. Yeah. Which gives them, it might not give them the full push they need to make a greater life, but you're certainly a help on that on a weekly or day-to-day basis. Yes. And that's an amazing thing to be a part of, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And one of the patients said yesterday, the lady who came with the patient, she said he wasn't feeling himself today. So I said, okay. I said, I'll go over there and I'll give him a little lift and everything like that. And that's what I did. And and when I was leaving, I said, well, I'm going home now. I said, and when you're back in next, I hope to see you looking better, more uplifted. I said, because I still need us to go out for our dinner. So he laughed, and everything. He said, okay, fine. Yeah. So I try, whatever I can do to give him a little lift, a little
don't
boost.
Underestimate the power of that, because I think as you're going through it, you need little stepping stones to help you get through the other side. Yes, because without that, you're going to just be flattened. Exactly. And then the greatness that comes at the end of it won't happen.
That's right, yes.
And that would be too sad.
Exactly.
So that's a lovely thing. Well, Brenda, I just want to say a massive thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for everything you've done for me up there.
You're welcome.
And I'll see you next week.
Yes, you will. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Do you remember when I first started out, when I had chemo, because I would be in for the whole day?
Yes.
I used to bring a big waitress.
I know.
I didn't want your curled up sandwiches. I used to make this nice picnic up and bring all my napkins.
Yes, exactly. Yes. She doesn't need anything. Oh, she's all sorted. She doesn't need anything from us.
I could have spent the rest of the ward, to be honest with you. But that was just kind of looking after the people that were looking after me.
You. That's right. Yes, that's right.
Well, thank you so much for that, and thank you massively for doing this podcast for me.
You're welcome,
It's really
Deborah.
kind, and
You're welcome.
I love the work you do, as does everybody else up there.
Thank you.
I'm super glad that you're well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to pick up on a few points that the discussion with Brenda gave me, and the first one was being how worthwhile it is to volunteer, because I can assure you Brenda's big smile when you're up there feeling less than warms you and keeps you warm throughout the day. And it's not just hospitals that can look for volunteers, but places like the schools or nursing homes, even libraries. And it's a great way to give back and contribute to your community. And many of these places wouldn't survive without volunteers. I certainly know that the cups of tea would be a bit sparse up on Sunrise Ward if Brenda wasn't there. The second thing I wanted to highlight was, it's amazing to me how you really don't know what people have been through. And we said in the interview, I'd seen Brenda up there every single time I went, but never really struck up a big conversation with her. And of course, when I did, I was to find out she'd been through a similar journey that I was going through. And that was just, it was incredible. And I marvel at that when I see people out and about. You really never know what's behind the smile. You never know what's going on in somebody's life. And so it's always good to afford somebody some kindness. And Brenda, on my third point, is giving people a stepping stone. She's enabling them to move through what is quite a traumatic time and come out the other side with a bit of space to think. And that's invaluable. And so I encourage you really to look around you, to your friends or people in your community that may be going through divorce or illness or bereavement, that might just be grateful for a small stepping stone that you might be able to offer them. How is Brenda greater? Well, by enabling others to get through, she's giving them some space in their heads to create their own greatness on the other side, and recognising she has a vibrant life, and that's really lovely. She helps you smile up there, and that just enables you to hold on to something, grab hold of a great space and make the most of it. I think the beautiful thing is, when you enable greatness in others, you must always certainly find it in yourself. Hope that Brenda enlightened you, and if you feel like going volunteering, go ahead, jump in. See you next time. If you like this podcast, like it, comment on it, or share it. Thank you.